When I got home early from work that evening, I expected nothing out of the ordinary. My plan was simple: surprise my wife with dinner and enjoy a quiet night together. But as soon as I stepped through the front door, a sound froze me in place. It wasn't the laugh of a TV show or a sitcom in the background. It was softer, more intimate, and far too human. Cautiously, I moved toward the living room, and what I saw stopped me in my tracks. My wife was perched comfortably on her boss's lap, their faces inches apart, whispering as if the rest of the world didn't exist. For a few seconds, I couldn't breathe. 6 years of trust, love, and shared life flashed before my eyes, and here it was, shattered in a single moment. When she finally noticed me, her face turned pale. She scrambled off his lap, fumbling for excuses that sounded hollow. The man, arrogant and unashamed, only smirked, as if my presence was an inconvenience rather than a betrayal. That smug look lit a fire inside me I hadn't known existed. But I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just smiled. That smile, calm, measured, frightened her far more than anger ever could. "Don't worry," I said softly. "Go ahead. Carry on." Confusion and panic spread across her face while her boss chuckled, assuming I was powerless. What they didn't realize was that a plan had already taken shape in my mind, one far more effective than any outburst. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she begged me to stop, but I ignored her pleas. I captured everything: the guilty silence, her trembling demeanor, his arrogant grin. Once I had enough evidence, I left the house without a word. She ran after me, crying, but I didn't look back. In that instant, the first stage of my revenge had begun. The next day, I went directly to her boss's company board. I discovered he was married and had carefully maintained a flawless reputation. I handed over the video, explained the situation, and walked away. By the week's end, he was fired, disgraced, and facing divorce. His smug expression vanished permanently. As for my wife, she tried everything to fix the damage: apologies, promises, and pleas to cut off all ties. But betrayal isn't erased by tears or promises. I filed for divorce, armed with the recording. The court sided decisively with me. I kept the house, the savings, and, most importantly, my dignity. She walked away with almost nothing, left only with the weight of her actions. Many people asked if I regretted how I handled it. I didn't. My revenge wasn't about loud anger or dramatic confrontation. It was about truth. She thought she could humiliate me in secret, but instead, her own actions became her undoing. Every time she begged for reconciliation, all I could see was how easily she had placed another man above our trust. In the weeks following, I felt an unexpected sense of freedom. The pain lingered, but it was tempered by relief. I no longer had to pretend love existed where it didn't. Friends and family supported me, impressed by my composure in the face of betrayal. Even skeptics recognized the clarity and strength of my response. After the divorce, she reached out with long messages full of regret. By then, I had already moved on. I refused to be anyone's second choice, especially hers. She had gambled with my heart, and lost. Her former boss's downfall became local gossip. People whispered about how quickly arrogance and indiscretion could destroy a man's life. My wife, once admired for a perfect marriage, now carried the stigma of her own mistakes. That alone was sufficient revenge. Looking back, I realized strategy and silence often strike deeper than rage ever could. I didn't need to scream, fight, or retaliate in the moment. I simply let the truth surface. And when it did, their secret affair crumbled entirely. In the end, I walked away with peace, self-respect, and strength. She walked away with regret, isolation, and the weight of choices she could never undo. That was my true, immediate revenge, proof that I didn't need her, and that my life was far better without her betrayal.